the legend of King Arthur is one of the most enduring tales in Western literature. It has been told and retold through countless generations, each adding their own unique touch to the story. From ancient manuscripts to modern adaptations, the tale of King Arthur continues to captivate audiences around the world. It is a story of chivalry, magic, and adventure. The Arthurian legend is filled with heroic deeds, mystical encounters, and epic battles that have inspired countless works of art, literature, and film. At its heart is the heroic figure of Arthur, King of the Britons. Arthur is often depicted as the ideal king, a symbol of bravery, wisdom, and justice. His character embodies the virtues of a true leader, making him a timeless icon. Arthur reigns from his magical castle of Camelot. Camelot is not just a physical location, but a symbol of a utopian kingdom where justice and chivalry prevail. The castle itself is often described as a place of great beauty and wonder, adding to the legend's allure. He is aided by his wise advisor, Merlin the Wizard. Merlin is a figure shrouded in mystery and magic, often portrayed as the guiding force behind Arthur's rise to greatness. His wisdom and magical abilities make him an indispensable part of the Arthurian legend. Arthur's knights gather at the Round Table. The Round Table is a symbol of equality, where all knights, regardless of their status, have an equal voice. This concept of equality was revolutionary for its time and remains a powerful symbol today. This iconic table symbolizes equality and unity. It represents the ideal of a just and fair society where everyone is treated with respect and honor. The Round Table is more than just a piece of furniture. It is a symbol of the values that Arthur and his knights stood for. Among the most famous knights are Lancelot, known for his bravery and his tragic love for Arthur's queen, Guinevere. Lancelot's story is one of the most poignant in the Arthurian legend, filled with love, betrayal, and redemption. His character adds depth and complexity to the tale. Another is Galahad, the embodiment of purity and chivalry, destined to find the Holy Grail. Galahad's quest for the Holy Grail is one of the most famous episodes in the Arthurian legend, symbolizing the pursuit of spiritual perfection and divine grace. The stories of Arthur and his knights have captivated audiences for centuries. From medieval bards to modern filmmakers, the legend has been adapted and reimagined in countless ways, each version adding new layers to the rich tapestry of the Arthurian mythos. They offer timeless lessons about courage, honor, and the struggle between good and evil. The Arthurian legend is not just a story of adventure. It is a moral tale that explores the complexities of human nature and the eternal battle between light and darkness. The legend transports us to a world of magic and wonder. It invites us to imagine a time when knights fought for honor, wizards wielded powerful spells, and kings ruled with wisdom and justice. The magical elements of the story add a sense of enchantment and mystery that continues to fascinate audiences. It explores complex themes of love, betrayal, and the nature of power. The relationships between the characters are intricate and multifaceted, reflecting the complexities of real-life human interactions. The legend delves into the darker aspects of love and power, making it a rich and compelling narrative. But is this beloved story based on a real person and actual events? The question of Arthur's historical existence has intrigued scholars for centuries. While some believe that Arthur was a real historical figure, others argue that he is purely a creation of myth and legend. The question of Arthur's existence continues to fascinate historians and enthusiasts alike. The search for the historical Arthur has led to numerous theories and debates, each offering a different perspective on the origins of the legend. Let's delve into the origins of the legend and explore the evidence. By examining ancient texts, archaeological findings, and historical records, we can uncover the roots of the Arthurian legend and gain a deeper understanding of its enduring appeal. The earliest known references to Arthur are shrouded in mystery, appearing centuries after his supposed life. These references are scattered across various ancient texts, each offering a different perspective on who Arthur might have been. One such mention occurs in the Historia Brittonum, a 9th century Latin historical compilation attributed to a Welsh monk named Nennius. This text is one of the earliest sources that brings Arthur into the historical narrative, though it does so in a rather enigmatic manner. In the Historia Brittonum, Arthur is not depicted as a king, but rather as a formidable warrior who fought against the invading Saxons in the 5th and 6th centuries. This portrayal adds a layer of complexity to his character, suggesting that he was a military leader of great prowess. Another early source is the Annales Cambriae, a 10th century chronicle that records a list of Welsh events. This chronicle is crucial because it provides a timeline of events that are associated with Arthur, giving historians a framework to work with. The Annales Cambriae mentions a significant battle at a place called Baden Hill, where Arthur is said to have single-handedly slain 960 men. This feat, if true, would have been extraordinary and speaks to the legendary status Arthur achieved even in these early texts. While these early sources provide tantalizing glimpses of a possible historical Arthur, they offer little concrete detail and are often contradictory. The inconsistencies in these texts make it challenging to piece together a coherent narrative about Arthur's life and deeds. These contradictions leave historians to grapple with the challenge of separating fact from fiction. The task is made even more difficult by the lack of contemporary records from Arthur's supposed time, forcing scholars to rely on later accounts that may have been influenced by myth and legend. The scarcity of reliable historical evidence has fueled ongoing debate about Arthur's existence. Some argue that the absence of concrete evidence suggests that Arthur was a purely mythical figure, while others believe that the legends are based on a real historical person whose story was embellished over time. Some scholars believe these early mentions point to a real warrior leader who was later embellished by legend. They argue that the core of the Arthurian legend is based on a historical figure who played a significant role in the defense against the Saxons. Others argue that Arthur is purely a mythical figure, a product of folklore and imagination. They suggest that the stories of Arthur were created to inspire and unify people during turbulent times, serving as a symbol of hope and resistance. The search for the historical Arthur continues to be a fascinating puzzle. Each new discovery, whether it be an ancient manuscript or an archaeological find, adds another piece to the complex mosaic of Arthurian legend. The quest to uncover the truth about Arthur is not just about finding a historical figure, but also about understanding the cultural and historical context that gave rise to one of the most enduring legends of all time. While a definitive historical Arthur remains elusive, several real figures from early British history might have inspired elements of the legend. One candidate is Ambrosius Aurelianus, a Romano-British war leader who fought against Anglo-Saxon incursions in the 5th century. Like Arthur, Ambrosius was a strong military figure who defended Britain against invaders. Another possible inspiration is Magnus Maximus, a Roman general who declared himself emperor in Britain and Gaul in the late 4th century. Maximus's campaigns and eventual defeat could have contributed to the stories of Arthur's military exploits and tragic downfall. It's also plausible that Arthur is a composite figure, an amalgamation of different historical and legendary figures. The stories attributed to him might reflect a broader cultural memory of heroic resistance against invading forces. The lack of a single clear historical counterpart only adds to the mystique and intrigue surrounding Arthur's true identity. Battles fought and legends born. The search for historical evidence. The search for historical evidence of Arthur and his legendary battles has yielded intriguing but inconclusive results. The Battle of Baden Hill, mentioned in early chronicles as a decisive victory against the Saxons, holds particular significance. However, the exact location of Baden Hill remains a subject of debate among historians. Some scholars believe the battle took place at Badbury Rings, an Iron Age hill fort in Dorset, England. Others favor sites like Liddington Castle in Wiltshire or Braden Hill in Wiltshire. Archaeological investigations at these locations have revealed evidence of fortifications and battles dating back to the relevant period. However, none offer conclusive proof of a connection to Arthur. The lack of definitive archaeological evidence does not necessarily disprove Arthur's existence. It highlights the challenges of piecing together a fragmented historical record. Battles leave behind physical traces, but these traces can be lost or obscured over time. The search for historical verification of Arthur's battles continues, driven by the enduring allure of uncovering the truth behind the legend. The Storyteller's Hand: How Geoffrey of Monmouth Shaped the Legend. While whispers of Arthur existed in earlier chronicles, it was Geoffrey of Monmouth who truly catapulted the king from obscure figure to legendary hero. Before Geoffrey's time, Arthur was a shadowy figure mentioned in passing in various Welsh and Breton tales. These early references were fragmented and lacked a cohesive narrative. Geoffrey, however, saw the potential in these scattered stories and decided to weave them into a grand epic. His book, Historia Regum Britanniae, The History of the Kings of Britain, written around 1136, became a medieval bestseller. This work was not just a simple chronicle, it was a masterful blend of history, myth, and creative storytelling. Geoffrey's narrative was so compelling that it spread rapidly across Europe, translated into several languages, and read by scholars, nobles, and clergy alike. Geoffrey's work presented a comprehensive and imaginative history of Britain, tracing the lineage of British kings back to the Trojans. This ambitious genealogy gave the British people a sense of grandeur and ancient heritage, linking them to the epic tales of Troy. By doing so, Geoffrey not only elevated Arthur but also the entire history of Britain, making it a land of heroes and legends. He cast Arthur as a central figure, a mighty warrior king who united Britain, defeated the Saxons, and even conquered parts of Europe. In Geoffrey's hands, Arthur was not just a local hero but a pan-European conqueror, a symbol of unity and strength. This portrayal resonated deeply in a time when Europe was fragmented and often at war. Geoffrey introduced elements that would become central to the Arthurian legend, including Arthur's magical sword Excalibur, his queen, Guinevere, and the wizard Merlin. These characters and artifacts added layers of magic and romance to the story, making it even more captivating. Excalibur, with its mystical powers, symbolized Arthur's rightful sovereignty, while Guinevere and Merlin added depth and intrigue to the narrative. While Geoffrey claimed to base his work on ancient sources, many historians believe he took significant liberties with history, weaving together fact, legend, and pure invention. His sources remain a topic of debate, with some suggesting he had access to lost manuscripts, while others argue he created much of the content himself. Regardless, his skillful storytelling blurred the lines between history and myth. Regardless of its historical accuracy, Geoffrey's Historia Regum Britanniae captured the imagination of medieval Europe. It was a time when people were hungry for stories that explained their origins and gave them a sense of identity. Geoffrey's work provided that, offering a rich tapestry of tales that were both entertaining and inspiring. It established Arthur as a literary figure of immense popularity and laid the groundwork for the development of the Arthurian legend as we know it. Geoffrey's influence cannot be overstated. His vision of Arthur set the stage for countless retellings, adaptations, and expansions. From medieval romances to modern films, the legend of King Arthur continues to thrive, a testament to Geoffrey of Monmouth's enduring legacy.